latest from the newsroom now on BBC One with George Alagaya.
Good afternoon. Two witnesses who saw a white Fiat Uno emerging from the Paris tunnel where Princess Diana was killed have picked out the same possible driver from a series of pictures. One of the witnesses told the Diana inquest he had to swerve to avoid the vehicle and he thought its driver was drunk. The number of new mortgage approvals fell to a 2-year low in September. It's being seen as a sign that the housing market is starting to slow in response to higher borrowing costs and tighter lending conditions. King Abdullah of Saudi Arabia is due to arrive in London on a state visit. He's already caused controversy by criticising Britain's record on tackling international terrorism. The Conservative leader David Cameron has called for greater restrictions on the number of immigrants from outside Europe. He said population growth was putting too much pressure on public services. A court's been told that a car ferry officer ignored evidence his ship had sunk a yacht. 62-year-old Michael Hubble denies the manslaughter of 3 sailors off the Isle of Wight last year. 18 works of art worth around £100 million have been given to the nation. The bequest by Simon Sainsbury, great-grandson of the supermarket founders, is the biggest of its kind for more than 50 years. And the weather, there'll be scattered showers in the west and for most other areas, bright spells. And I'll be back with the 6 o'clock news. Now we join our news teams where you are.
Good afternoon. I've never seen anything like it. The words of a police officer as violence flared around the Leeds-Millwall game on Saturday. 12 people were arrested, as Jenny Hill now reports.
And they thought this was a thing of the past. Saturday's violent scenes reminiscent of the football hooliganism of the 80s. But this is 2007, and even specially trained officers told us they'd never seen anything like it.
This is quite unique. We don't often see this kind of violence. As you can see, a lot of the people involved from the away support are older, and you can see just how vicious they've been today.
These were the scenes before the game had even started. Police had separated rival fans and escorted busloads of Millwall supporters, but neither they nor the presence of children could stop violence breaking out. After a Leeds victory, hundreds of fans clashed with police. Officers held Millwall supporters inside the ground while they dispersed home fans.
Well, from capitalist to conservationist, one of Yorkshire's richest businessmen say he now wishes he hadn't built Meadowhall. Paul Sykes said he had no idea the shopping culture would take over. He spoke out after being given a Lifetime Achievement Award. Britain's first Muslim minister, Shahid Malik, has been stopped and searched at an American airport. He was returning after a series of talks on tackling terrorism when he was detained by officials at Dulles Airport in Washington. His hand luggage was examined for traces of explosive materials. The International Development Minister says that he is deeply disappointed. He was questioned for 40 minutes by officials. Well, let's see what the weather has for us today with Paul.
Thanks so much. Good afternoon. Bright and breezy over the next few hours with a scattering of showers. I think most of those will be across the Pennines, and that's the way we keep it overnight. I think a west-east, but a scattering of showers across the Pennines, dry further east and lows of 4 or 5. And I think apart from a few showers in Pennine areas, tomorrow should be generally dry and bright with some sunshine, a light or moderate west-southwest wind and temperatures around 14 degrees. That's the forecast.
Thanks very much, Paul. Well, that's about it from the afternoon team. Do join Harry and Krista this evening for the main edition of Look North. But for now, have a lovely afternoon. Bye-bye.
I'm just telling you this so you know what you're up against.